Effective writing communication, a little bit part of it we have already seen when we are talking about the verbal communication. When we talk about the verbal communication, we have seen that verbal communication are of two parts. That is the oral communication and the written communication. If you remember about the verbal communication, which we have seen in our unit 2. Okay. So that time we have talked about written communication. We have talked about what are the advantages, what is the written communication, the introductory part of the written communication, and we have also talked about what are the advantages and disadvantages of written communication. Now in written communication today, in today's lecture, we are going to see when and when not to use a written communication. Okay. So if the topic is a little bit complex, should we use a written communication or should we go for oral communication? If the amount of distillation required is more, then should we go for written communication or should we go for the oral communication? If there are different, if you want to add the shades of meaning to the communication, then what we should do? Written, what should we choose? What should we choose? Should we choose a written communication or should we not choose a written communication? Or if the communication is formal, then should we go with the written communication or should we not go with the written communication? These are some of the aspects that we are going to see in effective writing skill. Now, as we have already talked about effective writing skill, this will be a little bit kind of an revision for you. When we see some of the aspects of your written communication skill. As we have seen earlier also, written communication skill is nothing but use of words. Okay, so whatever this presentation is, it is nothing but the use of words, right? I've written some words, and through these words which have been written by me, I try to communicate myself. I decode myself. I code myself, and I send a message to you. What you do at your end, you are seeing this message. Okay, you are receiving this message, and after receiving the message, you read the message. So whatever is written while I'm talking to you, okay, you are reading this message and you are also trying to decode this message. And finally, what you are doing is you are trying to understand that message, and then you are going to finally give me the feedback. Okay, maybe the feedback would be during your examination. So when in your examination, if you write this answer properly, then it will be that you have understood the topic. Okay, my communication was properly decoded by you. Then you have done an effective reading. Okay, in that case. So that is how the written communication goes about. This written communication is a very, very basic function. Every day, every moment, and some form or the other, you are writing down something in an organization. So whenever you join an organization, if you are in business, okay, whether you are working for somebody, okay, then this written communication is going to become a part and parcel of your everyday activity. Some of the examples of written communication can be your emails, your business correspondence, reports, your newsletters, the user guidance that you have, okay, what you call the standard operating procedures, the contracts, the memos that you give to people, the memos that you receive from others, okay, the bulletins, the messages that you give across, instant messages, maybe the WhatsApp messages, or maybe the Signal, the new app that has come, the Signal messages, the Telegram messages, the SMSs that you send. These all are nothing but instant messages. Your employee manuals that you create for them so that they can read and they can follow that manual. The job descriptions, your letters, internet website, the different proposals, faxes, postcards, advertisements, contracts, brochures. These all and more to come. There are n numbers of written messages. Okay, in your case, the notes that you write down, the textbooks that you read, the what you call that, some of the what you call that, the literatures that you read. Okay, maybe related to your syllabus, may not be related to your syllabus. Okay, so there are different written communications that are available and which are being produced every day. simple drafting of letter, okay, is a very, very important communication. Emails become a part and parcel of your everyday life. But if I ask you, how many of us are able to draft an effective email? Okay, if I tell you now, write down an email, and if I give you a topic, would you be able to write down that email properly? In fact, I'm going to give you that assignment. Okay, once I finish this, and then we will be able to understand that how we can write down effectively afterwards. Okay, once you write down an email to me in my next lecture tomorrow, okay, we will study how we are going to write down effectively. That time we can study the different things that you have done and different mistakes that you have done, in order to understand, so that you don't do the mistakes again, right? So these are some of the examples of your written communication. Now, written communication is a very preferred kind of communication. Okay, why it is a preferred kind of communication? Because it is rapid, it is fast in today's days. It may not be rapid and fast in the earlier ages, in the earlier what you call that, in the earlier years, because that time there were no emails, there were no what you call that, there were no WhatsApp messages, there were no SMSs that were available. Okay, so that time the written messages were definitely very slow. You had to write down a letter, then you have to pack it, then you have to send it to somebody, to the other person who would receive it, and whenever he gets the time, he used to open it and then read it, and then again he has to do the same thing while responding back to you. Okay, he also further had to write down the letter and send it back to you. Okay, so earlier it was not quite a rapid kind of an communication, but today if you see, written communication is quite rapid in nature. It is quite fast. Okay, if you see that letters and emails are many a times answered more better way in a phone call, because phone call, if somebody is in a meeting etc., then you have to wait for him. आपको कम से कम 4 से 5 बार उसको call करना पड़ता है, and then it happens that he receives the call from you, because each and every person is quite busy. Whereas in email, you can just type an email and send it to him. It is going to remain in his inbox. Okay. So it is quite preferred, rapid, fast, and effective efficient communication. Okay. It basically provides what I talked about in my earlier lectures also. It basically provides a document trail. Okay, document trail in the sense whatever you have written is being saved in the mail. Okay, it will be saved in the file. If you are sending it, if you are sending a written communication, then the copy of it is saved with you. So this written communication can always be referred, and it provides a document trail. कि पहले उसने क्या लिखा था, उसके ऊपर मैंने जवाब क्या लिखा, उसके ऊपर उसने क्या लिखा, उसके ऊपर मैंने जवाब क्या लिखा. So this document trail is there, so you can easily connect yourself to the subject matter, what has been what has been produced, or what the subject actually is, right? So it provides a document trail, right? But how many of us, as I was talking about, know that when writing is right or when the writing is wrong? For which matter should I write down a letter, or for which matter I should do a phone call? How many of us are aware? Very few are aware. Okay. On top of that, very few can write properly. Even writing down a communication, writing down a letter to somebody is known to very few of us. The reason being, we lack in grammar, we may lack in spelling, we may lack in punctuation. Now, these problems have also been solved, because your grammar, your spellings, okay, can be definitely, and sometimes your punctuations also is properly checked by your computers. So if you are doing your work on computer, then it definitely checks for you whether the spelling is right or not. Right? It immediately gives a dotted red line below the word, which tells you that there is some spelling mistake, and those spellings you can immediately correct it. Okay, by clicking on that word and just changing it to the changing the word. Okay, So that can also be taken care of. Okay. So apart from grammar, spelling, and punctuation, how to arrange a message, these things are also very important. So these aspects also we are going to see when we are going to see further. That when to write and when not to write, when to speak orally and when to write it down. These all aspects we are going to see further. Okay. Regarding your how to improve your written skill, then the more you read, more you practice, more you write down the written communication, your skill is not going to improve. Okay. So you have to go on writing down. You have to go on communicating. You have to write down the written mails. You have to send the mails. You have to receive the mails. Okay. You have to draft the letters. Unless and until you do that, this communication is not going to be improved. Like any other communication. Okay. Like any other communication, written communication can also be improved. It can also be learned by you. The only thing that is required is the sincere efforts from your side. If you do the sincere efforts, then definitely the written communication can be improved by you. So, if you are poor, if you feel that you are poor in writing skill, there are two ways of improving your skills. First, go on reading. Reading improves your language also, and reading improves your oral as well as written skill also. So reading and practicing is very, very important for you. Please go on doing it, because this is a very, as you have seen in the second point, written communication is a very, very basic role in that you perform in an organization. It's a basic duty that you perform in an organization. Okay. So day in and day out, you are going to write down lots of things. And for that, you should have a very good written communication. Now, let us go to the aspect where I said that how many of us know that when should I write down and when should I go for the oral communication? Here are the few points that your syllabus has mentioned. That should I go for written communication or should I not go for written communication? When the topic is complex, when the amount of discussion required is more, when we have to add different shades to the meaning, and when you are doing a formal communication. Should I go for the written communication or should I not go for the written communication? When and when not to use a written communication. Let us see the first aspects. Okay. The first aspect is nothing but complexity of the topic. What should I do when the topic is complex? Okay. The topic is difficult to understand to the other person. Then what should I do? What do you feel? What are your thoughts? If somebody can open their mic and tell me. Anything can be. You just have to say yes or no.
Sir, could you repeat?
I said if the topic is complex, right? The topic is very complex for understanding. Complexity समझते हैं टॉपिक का, मतलब वो समझने में बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, ऐसा कॉम्प्लेक्स टॉपिक है. Okay, whereby the other person is not going to understand that topic. It is a very complex topic where it requires a lot of explanation for him to understand. That kind of a complex topic is it. It is. Then in that case, what should I do? Whether I should go for written communication, or whether I should go for the oral communication, or should I go for the other form of a communication? What are your views on this?
Sir, we'll opt for oral only, but we'll just change some sort of text like complex plus easy. दोनों mix करके बोल सकते हैं.
Complex plus
easy language जो उसको भी समझ आए, and by not.
You mean to say you think you should go for a oral communication? That is what is
yes,
your this. Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, I will prefer like written communication.
It is me.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me. Yeah. What will you prefer?
Sir, I will prefer written communication because if the topic is already complex, so we can write it. We can write in our own language to
Make it
understand or
simpler.
to make it simpler.
Okay, so you will prefer a written communication, right? Anybody
Yes,
else?
sir.
Anybody else having some different thoughts? Anybody else wants to write the answer?
Sir, I do also think that we should go for oral communication.
Okay, Chirag also feels that we should go for oral communication. Along with, who was the first person? I just missed the name. I was not able to see the name. Who was it?
Krishna.
It was Krishna. Okay, so Krishna and Chirag, they feel that we should go for oral communication, whereas Mihir feels that we should go for written communication. Like there are different schools of thoughts over here. In the similar manner, okay, many of the scientists, many of the communication scientists, they have also many of the management scientists, they have also two different schools of thought. Okay, so here also from different literatures that I have studied, there are two schools of thought. The first school of thought, okay, which are prone to what Mihir has said, they say that the written communication is the excellent choice, okay, for sharing the information, as we can easily organize it, okay, like Mihir has already said that we can make it, we can write it down in a very easy way. In the similar manner, they also feel that we can easily organize the the topics and write it down properly, and it can be made in such a way that can be easily understood by the independent reader. So if the written communication can be easily organized, okay, if the written communication can be easily organized and it can be easily understood by the independent reader without having much efforts for them, then it is definitely an excellent form of communication. Okay, so it is a best where the reader can read the communication, get the message clearly, and he does not have to have any additional information about it from you, from the sender. But if the communication, okay, if it is complex and if it is not understood once you write down that message, if it is very complex and if it is not understood by your reader, then what is going to happen? He is going to call you, he is going to write down to you again, sir, I have not understood point number 3, point number 6, line number 10, line number 15. Kindly, can you explain it again to me? And again, you are going to waste the time in writing down the topic. If that is not going to happen, okay, if that is not going to happen, then it is a good form of communication. And if that is going to happen, whereby the person is again going to call you, is again going to bother you, and again going to ask you a number of questions related to that topic, then it is not a good form of communication for complex topics. Okay, got it? Examples of some of the non-complex material, which can be easily written are, meeting notes, answers, FAQs, quick clarifications. Here the sender does not have to again. आपने frequently answers questions देखे होंगे. Very simple question is there and a very simple answer is given to it. The reader reads it and understands it. Now these type of communication are very good because they are not complex in nature, or the complex topic is put in a very easy way. But as I told you, if the person is not going to understand it, if it is going to lead to misinterpretation, if it is going to lead to lack of understanding, whereby the person is going to call you up again and again and again and going to seek for the clarification, or he is going to put up the follow-up mails again and again, not understood, this is not understood, that is not understood, and again you go on writing and again you go on explaining again and again, then it is not going to be a good method of communication. Okay. The other school of thought, if they feel, that even if the topic is very, very complex, okay, the topic is very complex, then also written communication is going to serve better. The first school of thought was where the written communication is not very complex in nature, where it can be easily understood, where it can be easily drafted, there the written communication is better. Otherwise, the written communication is not better. Then you have to choose for some other communication, right? And the other form of communication is going to be the oral communication. Okay, that was one school of thought. That if it is not complex, for example, meetings, for example, FAQs, frequently asked questions, etc., and some these forms of simple letters, memos. Okay, for these job description, SOPs. For these, maybe the written communication is better, but for complex, it is not better because the person is going to go on calling you and he's going to seek for the explanation again and again. But the other school of thought, it believes, even if the topic is complex in nature, more complex the topic, more better is the written communication than the oral communication. Why do they feel so? They said because in that case, the receiver can read the topic again and again and again, and it can simplify the topic by reading it. The more he reads, the better he is going to understand the message. Okay. Whereas a complex topic, if it has been told orally, maybe like sometimes like what happens with you, there are for half of the lecture you are quite awake, for the half of the lecture you are wandering here and there. And if it is a complex topic, if it is given in oral way, if it is given by oral communication which the teachers give, okay, then what is going to happen? Half of the topic is going to be missed by you. Moreover, it is going to be complex. So oral communication is not going to serve the purpose according to them. Okay. Whereas if it is written communication, then the student or the person who has received the message, he can read it, not understood it, again read it, if has not understood it, again read it, and then try to understand it by continuously reading it or repeatedly reading it. Okay. So this is the other school. If you ask my opinion, like I asked your opinion, if you ask my opinion that which communication is better for the complex topic, then according to my opinion, oral communication followed by a written communication, or a written communication on the complex topic followed by a oral communication. When we do this both in combination, that is a combination of oral communication and written communication together, the complex topics can be understood by your reader. Okay. So if there is some complex topic which you feel that it is difficult for your readers to understand, in that case, you should, back up your written communication with oral communication, or you should always back up your oral communication with your written communication, vice versa. Okay. So that is how you have to deal with the complex topics, right? This is according to my opinion. So, whenever the topic is complex, written communication has its own role. We cannot deny the role of the written communication, but it will always be better to back it up with the oral communication. Now let us move on to the next topic whether we should go for a written communication or whether we should not go for a written communication. Now, if the amount of discussion that is required is too much, again, the complex topic requires too much of an discussion. So there are some topics which requires a lot of discussion in order to come to a conclusion. So if the topic requires a lot of discussion, just for example, investing, supposing diversification of your company, or bringing, introducing a new product in the market, introducing a new feature into your product, recruiting somebody at a very high post. Okay, so these are the topics. Which require a lot of amount of discussion, right? More important if the topics are controversial in nature. if the topics are sensitive in nature, if the topics are decision making in nature, if the topics are complex in nature, then all these topics requires a lot of communication. Okay, so the amount of discussion that is required is lot. In such cases, what is the communication that you will prefer? Can somebody tell me? Apart from the three who have answered me earlier, what are your thoughts? There is a topic which requires a lot of communication, okay, between you and your supposing uncle who is staying in say UP. Your uncle is staying in UP, and there is some discussion that you want to have with your uncle, okay, regarding a sensitive, controversial, and a decision-making topic. Okay. So, what do you feel? Oral communication would be better in such a case, or written communication would be better in such a case?
Oral one.
Yeah. Who is it?
Soumya.
Sing Soumya. Okay, Soumya. Tell me, what do you feel? What would be the better?
Sir, I think oral communication will be better in case we have to decide some particular thing, because in that thing we are true, like we can express ourselves in a better way, and it
Right.
will be better. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? You can express in a better way. But in written communication also, you can express yourself in a better way, or no?
Sir, we can express
Mhm.
each and everything, but
Mhm.
in what we while doing oral communication,
Hmm.
we sense the how this person is speaking. In that
Mhm.
case, my uncle
Very good.
will going to realize that how I am going to say something, like while making a decision, he can think that what can be better for me, the way I am saying to him.
Very nice, very nice. You mean to say regarding the tone, with your tone, he's going to be understand. He's going to understand that what are your thoughts, what are your views on from on that particular topic. Fantastic,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. Very, very, very rightly put. Anybody has a different school of thought other than Soumya? Anybody feels that Soumya is wrong?
Sir, I'm with Soumya because in the written communication we can write our means like any sort of work, or if we want to take any decision, but we cannot
Right.
express our feelings fully. Means
Okay.
because in
Okay.
oral communication we can express our feelings, like we can make decisions together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
So
yes, yes.
oral communication will be more better than written communication.
Absolutely, absolutely. And moreover, what happens is you all are right, and the communication scientists also feel in the same way that when the amount of discussion is too much, then written communication is really waste of time, because you are going to write something, then the other person is going to write something, then again you are going to write something, then again the other person is going to write something. Moreover, the topic, supposing it is very controversial, whether it is very sensitive in nature, if it is a topic of decision making, okay, then definitely the written communication is not going to help you a lot. Moreover, the exchange of these written communication, also there is a risk of misunderstanding many a times, right? In one of my lectures, if you remember earlier, I have said things like sarcasm, okay, or that I'm going to cover in my next topic also, something like sarcasms or taunts. Okay, these things are never understood when you're doing the written communication. It becomes very difficult for the other person to understand whether it is a sarcasm or not. But because of your tone, because of your body language, if you are in front, if it is a face-to-face communication, because of your body language, because of your tone, etc., the person is able to understand. Because of your smile, he is able to understand कि आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं. Whether it is having a little bit of sarcasm, whether it is having a little bit of fun inside it, whether it is having some taunts inside it. Okay, these are the things that can be easily understood. Supposing if you take the example of a decision making, if you want to if आपकी शादी की बात चल रही है, supposing just for an example, वो तो होने वाली 5-6 सालों बाद, So आपकी शादी की बात चल रही है, and there is somebody that you have seen and you want to discuss with the other person, you want to tell about his good qualities, you want to tell about his bad qualities, and then you have to take a decision about that girl or about that boy. Okay. And if you are discussing with your uncle, then this cannot happen over the letters, writing down in emails, etc. This is not going to help you out. What better way would be, just picking up a phone and calling them, right? Moreover, when supposing there is a topic like taking an equipment or buying a machine inside an organization, or buying or hiring a important person in an organization, then there is no guarantee when you do the written communication. Though you have tagged everybody in the mail, though you have written mail to 10 people, isn't it? You have written the mail to 10 people, and that 10 people you want to participate in decision making, but there is no guarantee that these all 10 people have read your communication and they have understood the communication and they are participating inside in the decision making process. Whereas if there is a meeting that is going on where all the 10 people who are on the decision making, they are sitting in front of you, then you can always give them a target that I want each and every person to speak on this topic, which is going to make easy your decision making process. Okay. So in that case, what is going to happen? The oral communication is going to be very, very beneficial in the decision making process. Hence, whenever the topic is lengthy, where a lot of discussion is required, the topic is complex, the topic is important, the topic is controversial, sensitive, then you have to stick to good, oral communication. Okay. So, if the topic is lengthy, then written communication is not suitable for such topics, because you are going to spend a lot of time in writing the topic. Okay. Let us go to the next one, that is the shades of meaning. Next criteria that we are going to consider for whether to select a written communication or the oral communication. Let us go for shades of meaning. Let me first make you understand what is the meaning of shades of meaning. Okay. Now, shades of meaning, they usually distinguish between the small and subtle differences are there. Okay, between the different words. Example, there is a difference between a kid and youth. But most of the time, what happens is we write down kid instead of writing down youth, or we do not write down youth instead of writing down kid. Both of them may at a given moment of time over there, they may sound the same, but they definitely have some different meaning. Happy and ecstatic. Okay. Happy and ecstatic both are what you call that a good happy emotion. But definitely happy has some different punch, and ecstatic, if you write down, has some different punch. It has a bigger punch. Right? But for us, what we usually do is we write down the same thing. Even if you are ecstatic, we write down we are happy. Even if you are happy, we write down we are happy. That is what happens. So we are not able to give the shades of meaning to a particular sentence if our vocabulary is not very strong. Most of the communication are in English. That you will agree with me, isn't it? And as our communication is in English, and as our vocabulary of English is not very strong, so many a time we'll land up, writing a communication which may not give a different shade of meaning which you want. Just writing down that I am very happy, writing down an SMS that I am very happy that I got good marks, would also mean that हाँ ठीक है आप happy हो, लेकिन इतना भी आप ज़्यादा खुश नहीं हो. It may imply that. Whereas if I write down I am very ecstatic with my result, would definitely give a different meaning that you are very, very happy with whatever the result that you have got. Are you understanding? So the shades of meaning is possible if your vocabulary is very, very good. If your vocabulary is not very good, then the shades of meaning is not possible. The question that you will ask me is, sir, then if the vocabulary is not very good, then how my oral communication will be effective? How will it give a different shade of meaning to my sentence? You have to remember, whenever you do the oral communication, in oral communication, only what 7% are the words that matter, whereas 93% is the body language and tone with which you speak. Like if I say I'm very happy that these sentence, just see the difference between two sentences, which is an oral communication. Where I'm using the same word happy, I'm not using the word ecstatic. Let me start. I am very happy, students, that you have done your project very nicely. The Allison course which I have done, I am very happy with it. This is one way of saying. Okay, the second. Dear students, I am really very happy with your work. The Allison course that you have done has made me very happy. Good. Just see. So with the non-verbal communication that I have done, it had added the shades of the meaning. Because 93% is the non-verbal communication. Now, I'm not in the classroom. If I had been in the classroom, I would have done in a more better way, okay, in a more enthusiastic way, which would have given you and sense to understand. Okay, so I'm just saying the word I'm saying the word happy only, but through my body language, I'm showing that I'm ecstatic. Okay, because 93% is what is the non-verbal communication. So again, so the success of communication with words is only 7%. And moreover, if you don't have good vocabulary, then the 7% success which you do by written communication is not going to happen. So you should have a very, very strong vocabulary, because there is no body language, there is no tone, there is no punches that have been involved when you write it down. So the shades of meaning are very difficult to incorporate. Nowadays, when you do the written communication, you have those smileys, isn't it? आप smiley डालते हो. So this smileys have now made can be added in order to add to that shade of communication. आप एक line डाल देते हो और आप एक अगर smiley डाल देते हो, तो the meaning changes. If you just write down a line and if you don't put a smiley, the meaning changes. You have put down a line and you have put a sad face, the meaning changes of the whole sentence. Try it out. And that is why most of the time what you do is you write down a message and you see to it, अगर सामने वाले को misunderstand हो सकता है वो message, so immediately you put a smiley to it, so that you are telling that I am not angry, I have taken it nicely, but I am just giving it back to you. So for that, what you do is you just put a smiley face over there. Or if there is a communication which you have sent, which you have not liked, which is making you sad, you just put a sad space and send it to him. So these smileys have now little bit, added the shades of meaning to your written communication also. But all said and done, it is very difficult to convey the, humor. It is very difficult to convey the sarcasm. It is very difficult to convey the taunts, etc. in a written communication. Hence, if you want to add shades of meaning, okay, to your communication, different shades of meaning to your communication. There is a single communication, लेकिन आपको उसको अलग shade देना है. Okay, so in order to give a different shade, a shade of humor, a shade of taunt, a shade of sarcasm, a shade of sadness, if you want to give a different shade to your communication, then written communication would never be enough to give the shade to your communication. Okay, or to alter the meaning of your communication. For that, you have to stick to the oral communication, verbal oral communication. Verbal written communication would not be enough for it. Now let us go to the last topic over here. What you are going to do if the communication is a formal communication? Okay, can somebody open their mic and tell me if the communication is a formal communication? what will you stick to? Would you go for a written communication in case of a formal communication, or whether you should go for a oral communication, written or oral communication? What will you prefer? Somebody open your mic and tell me.
Sir, I think that we should go for written communication instead of oral communication.
Okay, according to you, and what must be the reason for it? Made?
Sir, because many times, as we have seen, if we are preparing for an interview for
Okay.
job, so we don't go for oral communication directly because we don't talk from that HR key.
You apply to them. That's what you
Yeah.
mean to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we
So whenever
we
there is a
prefer-
formal communication, you mean to say we should go for a
Yeah.
oral
Instead of
written communication. Written communication. But you have given me an example. Okay. I wanted why you should go for it.
Sir, because
Why should I go for written communication?
communication?
Sir, can I say something?
Yeah, Ananya was saying something first. Ananya, yeah.
Sir, because formal communication in a written way looks more professional. That is why.
Okay. Formal communication looks more professional than an oral communication. Okay. One is professionalism. Anything else?
Sir,
Krishna was saying something. Krishna, go ahead.
yes, sir. Sir, we can't choose any one of them, sir. When it comes to formal communication, we have to choose both, sir. अभी जो मीर ने example दिया HR को apply करने का, it was just one process. While
Okay.
sitting in the interview, you have to speak in the oral communication style only. So, एक को choose करना कैसे हो सकता है, sir?
Okay. So you mean to say formal communication, like an interview application, would be what you call that written communication, whereas formal communication, which is interview, okay, has to be oral communication.
Oral communication.
Right?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Can I add my one more point?
Yeah, Mir, na? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mir.
Sir, as Krishna is saying, like we have to do oral communication while preparing for an interview or while answering an interview. But
In an interview,
yeah,
he agrees to your point. He agrees to your point that while application you have to go for written communication, but
Yeah.
he says while giving an interview, it cannot be a written interview. Okay.
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. Yeah. So, sir, apart from interview, like formal communication, like I'm giving an example. Like if you are writing an article to the editor, or if you are
Okay.
if you want to complain something about society or something about like accidents to the police commissioner, like all of that.
Okay,
post.
but Mir, my question to you earlier also was, but why? Why can't I pick up the phone and write to the commissioner and give him some complaint? What is the reason that I can't do that?
Uh,
Mir, 2 minutes. Mir ko answer kar do, then I will come to you to sing. Soumya. Yeah.
Sir, because in written communication directly आप उनको फोन तो लगा नहीं सकते ना कि अगर मतलब like अगर
सब क्यों नहीं लगा सकते? क्यों नहीं लगा सकते? आप फोन करके उससे बात क्यों नहीं कर सकते? कर सकते. But what would be missing? I want from you. You are right, me. But what would be missing? That is what I want from you. Why is missing? आपका ये बराबर है. It should be a written communication. Perfectly right. But why is missing? Yes, Soumya was saying something, and then I will go to my topic. I'll take your points and then I will tell you. Yeah,
We can't
Soumya, you are saying
directly
something.
Yes, sir. So we can't directly call them and say that ye problem hai. Like might be they are very busy, and if we going to give them the knowledge through the written communication, they can actually go through the process in a better way. If we directly call them, maybe
Okay. Got it. Saying. Soumya, you are partially, or you can say 75% very right, because they
Can I
are
add
so
one
big.
regarding
Yeah,
this?
please.
Sir,
Sir, like
Ananya.
that we can. अच्छा, Ananya.
sir,
Yeah, Krishna, go ahead. Fine. Sorry, Krishna, go ahead.
Sir, I was just saying that yes, you can't call the person at the same time because two words are sufficient to understand this. The person is an unknown to us, and at the same time, he's a respectable entity. Hence, we can't call him.
Okay, fine. He is unknown and is respectable. That's why you cannot call him. Okay, fine. Ananya, you were saying something?
Sir, like
Ananta,
Krishna gave an example of the interview, right? So he said
Hmm.
ki it has to be a combination of both. So I agree
Correct.
to it, but it has to be, the written part has to be more because, for example, if you're telling someone that I have done 4 years of service in such a place, so you can't just verbally say and the person won't believe you. You have to give a written copy. So in
Okay. Okay.
office spaces and
Fantastic.
like that, you have to give a
Hmm.
written like written copy or proof of everything, unless and
And why
until, like,
written proof is required?
because there will be no trace that that conversation actually happened.
Perfect. 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 So written communication, is best when you have to prove something. Okay. Coming to what Soumya said, which was absolutely right. It is not that the person is respectable and that's why I cannot pick up the phone and I cannot call him. I can call any respectable person. Okay. तो डेफिनेटली हिचकिचाहट होगी, आपको भी होगी, मुझे भी होगी, डेफिनेटली होगी। उसमें उसमें देयर इज उसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है कि हिचकिचाहट नहीं होगी। दैट इज गोइंग टू हैपन 100%, बट इट इज नॉट दैट आई कैन नॉट डू इट, but what is going to be the end result? The end result is also very, very important. The end result is, when the feedback is been given, that time the loop is completed and that time the communication is completed. What is going to happen in this case if I call up the commissioner and if I tell him कि sir ये ऐसा problem है, what is going to do? He is going to put down the phone. उसके दिमाग में होगा भी कि मुझे मनीष वाणी का एड्रेस प्रॉब्लम एड्रेस करना है, but he's so busy in his work that he is going to forget it. But if I write an FIR, if I go to the police station and if I file an FIR, then the FIR is a document, a documentary proof which is going to remain in their file, which are going to be visited by them, and me getting the what you call that जो भी न्याय वगैरह बोलो या my problem getting solved, that the chances of that becomes more. Okay, because any formal communication has to flow through a very proper predefined channels and routes. Like somebody said, he is very respectable, he is very at a higher post, and I can't go with my trivial problems to him. Perfectly right. Okay, I can go, but I should not go because then I am not following the channel. The channel is what? I have to go to the police station which is nearby. I have to file a complaint. Then they are going to look into the complaint. They are going to see the genuinity of the complaint, and then they are going to, file the case and so on and so forth. And then they are going to investigate, and then they are going to put that case into the court. These all are the, predefined channels and routes. And through these predefined channels and routes, only everything has to pass. In the similar manner, in any organization, okay, everything has to pass through the predefined channels and routes. Okay, an exchange of information is very, very official, and it remains official in an official communication. Whereas the exchange of information becomes unofficial, okay, if the communication is not a written communication. If I say something to you, okay, if I tell you something, then what you are going to say? Sir, give me in writing, because then that is going to be official. If you say, if somebody, you tell me, sir, मेरे friend को admission लेना है, so this communication is official or unofficial? This communication is going to become unofficial. That you are saying that your friend wants to take admission. Then what I will say? Ask him to fill the form. When he fills the form, then that communication becomes a official communication. When he is writing down something, when he is applying means what? As Mihir had said, when he is applying, then what he is doing? He is writing it down. Either typing it down or writing it down. So then that communication becomes an official communication. So when the communication is written, then the flow of information is controlled, okay, and deliberate efforts are to be put in order to have a proper communication. Whereas if you say an informal communication, okay, a formal communication is always going to go through the channels. From the proper channels, it is going to go. Whereas the informal communication, it is going to move freely in the organization. In informal communication, anything, any person can say anything to anybody at that given moment of time. Like you can tell now, sir, start the examination from tomorrow itself. आप बोल सकते हो, बराबर है? So it is what? It's a very informal kind of communication. And it is flowing from you to everybody. It's flowing from you to me, it is flowing from you to your friends, and it's flowing everywhere. In the organization, it flows everywhere. This informal communication. And this informal communication is most of the time oral communication. So whenever you do oral communication, it is always termed as an informal communication. Most of the time, unless and until it is a very high official, बहुत बड़ा बॉस जब तक नहीं बोलता तब तक. जैसे अगर जब मोदी आके बोलते हैं कि कल से नोटबंदी, तो it is quite a formal communication. Okay, unless and until a big boss of the organization talks, most of the time, okay, these kind of communication are very, very informal communication, and that can flow in any way. Okay, and they are very quick to reach also. आपने उसको बोल दिया, उसने दूसरे को बोल दिया, उसने तीसरे को बोल दिया, तीसरे चौथे को बोल दिया. By the end, in the morning, you start with the communication. By the lunchtime, the communication has spread everywhere. Informal communication. Whereas a formal communication, in order to reach, somebody has to take a decision, somebody has to type it, somebody has to send it. The communication will take time to reach to you, because then it is going to flow through proper channel. From one person to other person, from the other person to some other persons, from them to the other persons, and then to other persons. So the channel is properly set. So whenever it is a formal communication, you should go for the written communication. Some of the examples of high level of formal communications are policies, manuals, procedures, rule books, memorandas, minutes of meetings, reports, contracts, sales agreements, accounts information. Okay, these all require formal. These all are kind of a formal communication. Okay. Now, though formal communication can be written and can be both written and oral. For example, if you're working, if we are in a group, I am working in exam section. Along with me, there are 2-3 people who are working along with me. Then the communication, though it is a formal communication, we can communicate with each other. Because it is a small group of people, whereby this communication can be a formal as well as oral communication. But when a large group is involved into it, then that time the communication, most of the time, the formal communication should be written communication. Okay. In small groups, the formal communication can be oral communication. Okay. Or the formal communication which is done by the higher authorities can be an oral communication. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि नरेंद्र मोदी announcing, the 500 का नोट बंद हो गया. That kind of communication can be a formal kind of communication. Now, written communication is still the choice for the formal communication. As the level of formality increases, okay, as the level of formality increases, the communication shifts from oral communication to written communication. It means higher level of formal communication requires written communication, whereas lower level of formal communication can be a oral communication, can be. Even it is written communication, it is best. Okay. Most of the time what happens is these formal communications, if you do it in a written way, then you can keep the reference material for yourself. Written जो रहता है वो documented रहता है. Okay. So reference material can be always be kept, and you can always go on referring those reference material. Right. So as a golden rule, you have to remember, as the level of formality in the communication increases, the communication shifts from the oral communication to the written communication.